What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another DevPro duel video. I'm going to be playing in ranked with this Dragunity Beatrice turbo deck. Now the original deck concept and idea came from Naibo Yin, who topped 16th his New Zealand Nationals with the 50 card version of this deck. Now I have made some tweaks to it. I've basically just been playing around with it. The deck is extremely gimmicky, but it's also extremely fun, so that's why I'm choosing to play it. It doesn't really have the best Cosmo matchup, but that could probably be amended in the future. I'm not quite so sure. But anyway, as you can see, my deck list is not 50 cards. My deck list is 42. I literally was playing it for quite a while, and I just started cutting cards that I saw were like just not really contributing as well as they probably could have been to the overall like scheme of things with the deck. So I ended up like cutting the Brilliant Fusion package, which meant cutting the Seraph Knight out of the extra deck and making room for a Stardust, and then just like cutting all these other cards that I was literally never using and like never wanted to see multiples of in the form of like Overdrive, Teleport, and stuff like that, and basically got down to this 42 card deck. Now the way this deck operates is your main goal is to be pumping out as many Beatrices turn 1 as possible. It is possible for you to go Beatrice, plus Stardust, or sometimes Beatrice, Bouncer, Stardust. Just ways to protect your boards and stuff like that, with Beatrice being able to send cards and functionally be a rank 6 trap that you are summoning, as well as, continually, fueling your engine, because during your turn you're going to be sending Mallees and like Carbonet on, and then you're going to end up sending Harpist, ideally, and searching another Dux in the end phase. So you have that set up for your future plays, and then you also have Alec, Farfa, and then Blaze Accelerator Reload and Shaddoll Dragon to send on your opponent's turn to interact with their board, and then when it comes back around to your turn, you literally just try to outright kill them. Now the deck list is literally just focused around as many optimal like 2-card combos as possible, with the use of like Primitive Butterfly, Overdrive Teleporter, Ravine Phalanx, plus the Gusto Griffin and Windar engine. It all just contributes very heavily to the facilitation of summoning multiple Beatrices, and I'm not going to go into any more depth discussing this, just simply because it will be very apparent how the deck is meant to function when you see the games that I play with this deck. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into some ranked games. Alright, so first and potentially only game. Like I said, I'm going to be playing in ranked, specifically because the deck is TCG legal in its current form. If you want to adjust it for post-Shining Victories, then the obvious choice is just to take out the Yugioh King in the extra deck and play a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon instead, because it's literally like all tier 4. It's like the Out Dark Destroyer, because it gains 400 attack whenever it attacks, so it gives 32. But this hand, I drew the Scattershot and I drew the Farfa, but that's actually kind of alright, strictly because I get to make at least one Beatrice here. I don't get to make too many Beatrices, but I do get to make one. And if that Beatrice floats properly, then it will allow the Farfa to be decent. The problem is I've got to really just get value out of this Max C, unfortunately. I drew way too many of the non-combo cards, so I'm going to have to ditch this Farfa, which is kind of terrible. Yeah, slightly, but as it stands, I'm still going to be able to set up 2 traps, because what I'll be able to do is, instead of fueling with the Beatrice this turn, I'm going to be able to just make the first Beatrice. I'm going to be able to add Harpist, send not add Harpist, send Harpist. I've got to send the Gusto to make the Beatrice even online. So this hand, while very, very suboptimal and very subpar, still is going to give me 2 effective traps, because the Beatrice that I'm going to be using this turn is going to send Blaze Accelerator Reload into the grave, and then I'm going to be able to use it on my opponent's turn to use Dragon or Alec. Essentially, is what is going to be the game plan here. So yeah, I'm just going to make Beatrice, and I'm going to just send Blaze Accelerator Reload. I'm going to take another minus because I drew one of the scatter shots, which is kind of unfortunate, but it puts my opponent in a kind of strange position here, because they have to actively be playing around the Blaze Accelerator Reload now. And then I can have Alec plus Dragon, and plus I have Max C backing it up, so they literally have to. Normally, I like to, if you open with multiple Beatrices, you actually like just don't want to put Blaze Accelerator Reload into the grave until you're literally about to use it. That's the typical thing. I'm playing against ninjas, excuse me? Like, what is with... I guess. I'm not gonna get angry. I'm gonna try to not get angry, at least. Okay, so he's setting 2, setting 3. Well, guess I'm not Dragoning now. But what I can do is that I can just go ahead and get rid of this because he searched regular ninja auto transformation. So what I'm actually just going to do here is that I'm going to use this so that I don't draw any more scatter shots. I'm going to use it just to get rid of his Grandmaster so that he can't use the ninjutsu art to go into Mist Valley like Apex Avion, because that's typically what this deck tries to do, because he has the old ninjutsu art of transformation. He doesn't have super transformation, which summons like dinosaurs and dragons. No, this one summons winged beasts. So we will just do this, get that raw 1500 damage in, and yeah, we'll just go with that. So I guess there are going to be multiple games this video. Typically, because these games do tend to be fast, they do tend to be fast-paced games, as well as the fact that I'm playing as ninjas. So I'm going to be trying to end the game on this next turn, pretty much as hopefully as possible. And so now I can, I really don't want to hit the ninjutsu art of transformation, so I'm going to use this and send Dragon. Because I've already got to search for ducks next turn anyway, so I don't need to send Harpist here. And or I could just send Zephyros. Zephyros is actually just the stronger one. If I send Zephyros here, that means that I get to put 2 more 6s on the board with the ducks play. So yes, we'll do that. We will definitely do that, because Zephyros is definitely really important here. Harpist, okay, that's actually a really good discard. Very, very good. So yeah, I will activate this, attempting to search for ducks. If it gets like spaced or something, or twin twisted, then I still get ducks in the end phase anyway. So I'll just play as if that is my game plan. And I get to bounce the Ravine for Zephyros. I get to do a lot of things here. I'm going to summon this, and if it falls victim to like Valor or Phoenix Chain, I still get a big Dweller. There are a lot of just options this deck has, interestingly enough, but the options I'm going with right now are going to be making more, it's going to be Beatrice plus Stardust, because that's actually just like game, ideally, unless I run into like something like Rippling Mirror Force, in which case that's going to suck. But as it stands, I can just make Beatrice plus a level 8, and I'm just going to go with that game plan, because I can then set up the Maliciouses as well that just make all my other Beatrices online and live. So yeah, and I still have Alec in the deck as well, so Beatrice effectively can function as a Bouncer-esque like card. The only card left in my deck to work with Beatrice is Shadal Dragon and Alec. Those are the only ones that are left. So definitely have to be aware of that, but ultimately it's probably going to be fine. In fact, this video is actually getting to a decent length. I think I will keep it self-contained and then just do another video that will go live either today or tomorrow, simply because I am trying to keep it clustered together, but it probably will only just be one a day, because that's the kind of scheduling I want to keep myself to, because it just keeps things a little bit more lax in terms of my filming schedule, and it keeps things from being problematic, ideally, in the ideal world. But anyway, yeah, so we'll make another Beatrice here. That way we got 2 floaters. We can float into Virgil or Pilgrim Dante. And then this Beatrice will send Malicious, which Malicious gets banished, summons another copy of Malicious, and then it puts that Malicious online for the next turn. Or I could just go ahead and get Carboneton out, but Carboneton actually doesn't like facilitate continued level 6s, whereas Malicious does. Malicious will be at least 1 more level 6 after it hits the board. So yeah. That is that, and then we will go into Stardust here and turn this Beatrice into attack mode and try to not get Storming Mirror Forced. Because if I get Storming Mirror Forced here, that is going to suck. It's a very real threat, it's a very real possibility, but I hope it doesn't happen. What? Cyber Shadow Guard now. It's still treated as a trap card. And then it goes back to its spell and trap card zone. That's so awful. I'm going to save this Maxi. I definitely don't want to Maxi that. Well, alrighty then. Okay, so this thing, the attack and defense of this card become the attack and defense, and it doesn't have to be special summon defense. I should have put it in attack mode. If you put it in attack mode, I couldn't attack over it with Stardust, but now I can. Yeah, am I reading this correctly? The attack and defense of this card become the attack and defense of the attacking monster. Yeah, so I just get to attack it with Stardust, and its defense will be 2,000. Easy. Wow, should have put it in attack mode, because then I couldn't attack it with Beatrice, because well, if I'd attacked it with Beatrice, it would have been 28, so I guess I can see that. But, still, putting it in attack mode would have forced me to, like, kill Beatrice off, which I could have then used to get Pilgrim Dante. So I guess there was really no good way to play that card, now that I'm thinking about it. Because putting it in attack mode, I would literally just attack with Beatrice and float into Pilgrim Dante, and then I have an untargetable that you have to deal with. So I guess maybe? I don't know. Oh well. What we're going to do here is we're going to activate this Harpist, and I'm just literally going to try and get as much value out of this Beatrice with a material under it as possible. The Stardust is going to protect things from like generic board wipes like Raigeki and stuff like that. One of these two cards is Ninjutsu Transformation, so there's that to consider. And otherwise, okay, so he's using it now, which means what I get to do is I get to activate Max C here. And the thing is, like, I actually just get to out this this big chicken if he summons it, because of the fact that he has to attack over, like, Beatrice's. That's the thing. And, like, I could actually just out it. Oh my god, I drew the last Malicious. What a masterful duelist I am. Alright, so what I get to do here is that at any point when he goes to, like, battle phase, I can just send Dragon. And Dragon can pop this, and that's going to destroy this. And so at that point, like, I'm just in a really strong position because I get to just basically dictate what he's doing with his resources, because this Dragon's going to go to the grave, the Dragon will activate, destroying the Ninjutsu art. He has to bounce this to his hand to negate it or just lose it, so it's going away regardless because of the inherent nature of how this card operates. It's going to clear itself for me, or it's going to get cleared by Dragon. And so it goes back to his hand, and I mean, this just stays there. So I guess that means, like, he can use Magical Spring, or not Magical Spring, what is that? Magic Planter, that one. But otherwise, oh, well, there's another level 6, that's neat. Okay, so what I get to do is I can make another Beatrice if I want to. I can make, actually, I can make two, I can potentially make 2 more rank 6s, but it depends on what happens to my board. But I'm just literally going to try and poke for game, like, that's it. I shouldn't have to do anything else at this specific point in time. I drew the Malicious. What is this? Statue of the Anguish. Alright. Special summon it. Attack. Defense. 25. Its defense is 2,500. Wow. Okay. If a card is special summoned to side of the field from your monster zone, destroy. Okay. Alright. I guess. This thing has 2,500 defense. Ignorantly enough. So now I just have to get rid of it in a method that is economical. And that method is probably going to just be summon Yugioh King. Because summoning Yugioh King would just be an out to it on the next turn. In fact, I should probably just go ahead and do it now. Maybe? Who knows? Not me. I'm not aware. Let's see, if I exhausted all my Beatrice things, I know the Farfa's gone, which is kind of agitating because the Farfa would be a legitimate out here, but I drew it, so that's an issue. It's part of the reason why this deck is really gimmicky, because you could draw your traps and then they're kind of dead, and it kind of defeats the purpose of the clientele of this entire strat. But as it stands, I'm just gonna pass my turn. Like, this doesn't do anything. It's got 0 attack. Why is it 2,500 defense though? Why has it got a raw stat of 25? That's what I don't understand. It's a level 7 though. It's pretty cool. That means he could overlay it with his Mist Valley thing, which is neat. Do you have a third ninja to summon another Apex Avion? Because I know one of these cards is Ninjutsu art. Is it? Or did he summon Hanzo and not use its ability? I think he just summoned Hanzo and didn't use its ability. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, he just summoned Hanzo and just straight went into this. He didn't even search for another card. Interesting. Okay. Well, so what's going to happen here is that I can just make Bouncer. I have multiple ways to do this. I can make Bouncer, or I can make Yugioh King. And Yugioh King is probably the easiest option, just because it dictates just a normal summon of ducks. So I guess we'll go with that. And at this point, if like this is actually just the safest route, because if the Vajrayana has something done to it, or do I even have a Vajrayana left? No, I've got to make Virgil. So I actually can't make Yugioh King here because of the Malicious being drawn. That's actually so relevant, and that makes me a little bit upset. But this deck is clunky, and I'm not going to try and pretend that it isn't, but it is fun. just because of the fact that like I'm summoning Beatrice in a Dragunity deck. Like, excuse me, what? You what, mate? But so we'll play E-Telly, getting out Rise Bell, the Star Adjuster, and then Rise Bell will make itself level 6, and that way I can overlay into Bouncer, and Bouncer's bigger than this thing's defense. And so, and then Bouncer also gets to have value in the essence of this thing's effect triggers if he tries to summon another one from his spell and trap card zone. Then I get to negate it and do a clean 1,000. Alright, clean 1,000s are good. 1,000 is actually just like such a good number. I don't think I've ever been displeased with Bouncer's effect in general, because Bouncer has like always been one of my favorite exceeds in the game. What is this? 500 attack, 0 defense? Alright, yeah, replay the battle. You're playing Ninja Traps. Ninja Trap Monster? Ninja Trap House? Is this, this card cannot be destroyed by battle? Period? What? Oh, what a fucking cheese! Alright. So now, I literally have, like, no out to this in my deck, because of the fact that this can't be destroyed by battle. This is such a weird situation. This has literally never come up the entire time I've played this deck. This thing has so much. This deck has problems getting over things in battle. And the Farfa's gone. If I can make another rank 6, I can make Beatrice, send Alec, and then Alec will be able to negate that effect, and so then I'll be able to kill it. But I still need to make another Beatrice, which means I've got to tribute summon this Malicious because I drew it like a prick. Like a prick, I drew it. And there's no way to put it back in my deck. That's so ignorant. That's so iggy. Alright. Okay, so let's see. Am I even gonna, like, there's, oh wow, really? Alright, well what do you get rid of, is the question. Alright, getting rid of that, okay. That's actually an issue. Slightly. Slight issue. Can't deny that it is a slight issue. The Stardust goes away now, and watch, I get like Raigeki or something. But he can't, it's actually not an issue at all, because I can just crash a Beatrice into it. Or I could just summon this. Yeah, it's easy. I can summon this, pay 2k, get my 2 Rise Bells out, that'll give me another Beatrice. And, like, he either negates it and dies, or he doesn't negate it, and he dies. I like this. I like this thought process. So I will normal summon this. And I will actually pay 2k and see if he negates, because I mean he realistically should negate it. Honestly, I'm just gonna get 2 Rise Bells. They're both gonna become level 6s. Oh, he's not negating it. All right, well, your funeral. Here comes Beatrice number 3. So they will both use their abilities and increase their levels by 3. I hope I targeted one of each. I actually did not pay attention. I probably should. So 3 and 3. Yes. Okay. Good. Got scared for a second. I'm gonna overlay with the Rise Bells into another Beatrice, and then this Beatrice will send Alec. Because what that's gonna do is that's gonna invalidate this. Because I send the Alec, and then the Alec is gonna negate this ability. So that way I crash the Beatrice into this and get Pilgrim Dante. And because of that, like, this effect is negated, period, now. So I get to crash. He has no say in whether or not it floats into Pilgrim Dante or not. And that's just going to be it. So yes, I will use this Beatrice to get Pilgrim Dante out, and we'll just go from that. I can't believe that of all the things I could have played against, I played against ninjas? Ninja traps? And that's the thing that's giving me the most issue. Like, excuse me? Like, come on now. What is this? This isn't nothing. This is nothing. This has been here the entire game. There's no way this is something now. There's no way this is something now. Okay, the timer's not going down. He just left. Is that what happened? Did he just leave? He just left. Alright. Okay, well, I guess that's how that works. I wish that DevPro would stop being, like, buggy as shit and give me a disconnected message, because literally every time in Ranked when people leave, you just have to, like, find that out by the timer not ticking down. But anyway, alright. Well, I guess let me know what you guys think about that game in general. I'm going to be playing another game with this deck because, like, I opened very, very poorly, but I was still able to operate well because of the fact that, like, this deck is ninjas. And you can take that however you want. But, other than that, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. The deck list is back up on the screen at this point. So you can definitely just look over that a little bit more. The card that I didn't use that you might be wondering about, that's the insect thing, it's Primitive Butterfly. Just solving that now before people ask about it. But other than that, if you want to support me, same old way, clicking ads on my videos and disabling ad block when you view them is more than sufficient. I cannot express how much it helps, nor how much it would be appreciated by myself. But other than that, look out for another video of me playing this deck that will probably be up tomorrow. But other than that, as always, guys, take care.